right, y'all. This is Derek Williams, aka Skinny.
It's your boy Cam Tatum, man.
And hey, we want to welcome y'all to the 94 Feet podcast. So look, bro, we're finally making this thing happen, baby. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm so happy. I'm excited about this, man. More happy to have my brother Skinny alongside with me. To go along this journey, man. I think we got a lot of exciting content for you guys. Guests, from the players, men and women, to coaches, to agents, to referees, trainers. We got it all, man. We're gonna have a lot of good content for you guys, man. Just stay tuned and.
Man, Cam, like I say, I'm excited, man, because you know how passionate I am about basketball, man, just sports in general. And we really get to, dive into Georgia basketball history, man, because there's a lot of players out there that people probably never heard of. There's a lot of players out there that people probably have forgotten. And we get to, really tap into that and, get a lot of great players on the show, not just from, the east side, but all over Georgia as well, man. Professional basketball players, NBA players, overseas, man. Just get to bring all that together, man. They can share their knowledge, their wisdom, their thoughts about the game. Because like me and you always talk about, it ain't just about shooting a basketball, man. It's so much more to it.
So much.
And a lot of folks just don't realize that, man. And I'm excited about this, man. I'm excited.
Like you said, man, with this platform, I think we're gonna be able to deliver all those things to you guys, man. Not just entertainment value, but the informative value as well. For young guys also. So we hope that you guys take a lot from this podcast that we're gonna be delivering to you guys, and buckle up, man, because it's gonna be fun.
Man, 94 feet coming at you strong.
Yes, sir.
So Cam, you know how we always kick this thing off, man. Your name rings in households all throughout Georgia, man, all throughout the country, man. Who was the first person to give you some work, man?
Oh, man, I wasn't expecting this. Ooh.
Who gave you that work? Who gave Cam Tatum, Killer Cam, some work, man?
Man, I think I'm going to say this. I always played up. So I had my older brothers and, cousins, family members, close friends that, used to get the best of me. My older brother Brandon, my brother Evan. Those guys used to always beat up on me. So I got to give a lot of credit to them as far as like giving me that motivation and that passion to be the best that I can be. But once I started playing with guys that were my age and myself being on that level of with AAU, the first person that I played against, man, was Javaris Crittenton. Played against Jay at I never forget. It was at Westlake High School in the auxiliary gym. I was playing with the East Side players. No, it wasn't the East Side players at the time. I was playing with DC Ice at the time. And so it was like a little local team from DeKalb County. And Javaris was with the Celtics. Okay. And one thing I remember, man, Javaris came out with like a bottle roll full of grill. With a bottle roll grill in the game. So I was like, yeah. And bruh had already kind of like hit his growth spurt. So he was already kind of like 6'4", 6'5". This is like, we were like in the 8th grade at this time. He already like 6'4". And I'm like, man, this dude, this what this real basketball is like. And man, this dude, and I'm thinking he got to be a big man. Nah, he faced off against me. Oh man, it's like, yeah, it's different. It's different. So I went back home after that tournament, man, and I ain't looked back since.
So that was your defining moment.
That was one of my defining moments, and like really realizing that I was good from my side of town, coming from the east side. But once I started getting to the whole state of Georgia and playing on that elite level, playing against the Stars and playing against the Celtics, like I said, I wasn't on those teams at the time. Once that happened, I was like, you got to step it up a notch, Cam. This ain't it's and one basketball that you just watching and ain't gonna cut it. So
yeah, man.
Shout out to Javaris, man.
I think mine was a lot different, man, because coming into Tucker, 1999. That's my freshman year. It seems so long ago now. You think about it, right? I think Darius Swain was the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. Darius Swain and Jabari Davis. Those were the first, like when I got off the bus my first day in school. The first two people I seen is Jabari Davis. Shout out big brother Jabari Davis, Tennessee.
Yes,
And Darius Swain. Now they were football players, but Darius played basketball too. Darius was highly recruited both. And Swain used to walk around back in the day. You remember East Bay? Swain used to have strength shoes. Swain used to walk around school with the strength shoes on all day long. Swain had the biggest calf muscles that I've seen in my life. Now me, I'm pretty swole as y'all can see. Like I got muscles, Cam.
And Swain played at UGA, right?
Played football, defense end at UGA, right? Defensive end. I mean, freak of nature. And around that time, your position wasn't pretty much determined based on what you could do. It was a lot determined based on your height. So height-wise, even though right at that time, me and Swain probably was higher, he probably was a little bit taller than me. But it was about a good 150 pound, 160, 70 pound high weight difference. Shoes. Oh yeah, he walking around with strength shoes.
So he dunking, he bouncy.
And sometimes the JV would scrimmage the varsity. Yeah. And a lot of those times I was on Swain's back. I would try my best to front him, but I couldn't get around him. Like I was so small and he was so big, and then he played football, so he was already more naturally physical to me because he playing against Jabari Davis and Greg Billingsley and all those guys. Bro, was nothing I could do with Darius Swain, man. Like I was set up, man, and so I can't really say anybody like pretty much outside of Tucker, because Tucker was so good that the guys I went against, it was like it was tough. Like Darryl Shealy, you know what I'm saying? The Darryl Shealy, another big center that we played against in Tucker. I wasn't a center, dog. I just was forced to play center. But I would tell anybody, Darius Swain is probably the person that I remember. I jumped on his back.
They still couldn't do nothing with him.
I jumped on his back, and he jumped and dunked the ball with me on his back. Like I'm like a cape on Superman. Like, man, like some of the predators.
So you threw that.
Man, what? Like I can't classify that he dunked on me. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't on me, right?
Dunked with you.
Yeah, he dunked with me.
Yeah.
Like Darius Swain, man, is the biggest. Him and Marcus McNeil, man, is probably the two biggest guys I ever seen in my life, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I had to guard Marcus McNeil my junior year.
Yeah.
The first time we played Cedar Grove, we played Cedar Grove 3 times that year, my junior year, and
you do whatever you want.
They beat us. It was a close game, but I was small.
Yeah.
Back then, this was before my muscles came in, right after I got them off leeway and stuff, right? I was small. So my strength wasn't banging. Like I got off because I could elbow and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, defend the paint and things like that, like it depends on who we were playing against. But Marcus McNeil, I mean, this man went to the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Starting left tackle for the Chargers. You could go look at his Wikipedia, man, and see how big he was. And I mean, you putting, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's there. Like I see what they saw, but those are the people that gave me work, man.
Okay.
That gave me that I can just really say, like, it wasn't nothing I could do.
So you had to go back in the lab and.
Man, it wasn't no lab, dog. I had to take steroids. That was the only way I was going to catch them, dog. And that wasn't in my future, dog. Like, just being real with you. It was nothing about a basketball game that I could do. God just didn't bless me with weight at that time. You know what I'm saying? My muscles came later on. You know what I'm saying? After I got them off layaway and the invention of eBay and Amazon, when I started really getting my muscles. I didn't have them then, man. I didn't have them. So, man, let's talk about your story, man. As you coming through, you know what I'm saying, Tucker High School, major name in Tucker High School, man. A lot of folks probably know it, don't know it, you know what I'm saying, but we go back.
Sure, man, for sure. I mean, honestly, if I'm writing my book, and I tell people this all the time, especially on Clubhouse, if I'm writing my book, you got a big, major chapter in that book, especially with my introduction for me first coming into Tucker High School. I felt like I was a new kid on the block. I came from the other side, coming from Lithonia. So, there were some obstacles that I had with, other players and stuff like that, just being in a new school. But, man, you kind of took me under my wing. So, a lot of people, talk about being real and being real OGs and being real vets and stuff like that. But, you ain't just talking. You walked it. You took me home after school, you put me around, your family, your pops is like my pops.
Same here.
So that's why the way that this is coming together, man, it's even more beautiful and perfect because like I said, we do got history. So like, now that we'll be able to write one chapter at the beginning of my career, and now, once basketball has ended, now I'm able to write the new start of my new chapter in life, and now to have you a part of it, man, that's crazy, and it's beautiful at the same time, man. So, I know people might, know who I am as a basketball player, but not necessarily know who you are and not understanding the importance of you and even why you on the show, man. Like I said, you know the game, you've been around it. Obviously, you followed me throughout my whole career. You're knowledgeable about it, about the past, present, and the future. Just from when I hear you talk about, the game from, on the clubhouse. So I felt like that you were the perfect person to have, alongside with me on your show because you pretty much know everything and you don't really talk, out the side of your neck except when you're talking about Zion. So,
hey, man, I'm telling you, I see something with Zion, man. I see something, man. I tell you.
I think Zion is.
Hey, man, I'm just telling you, man. I can tell. I'm always right sometimes. I always right sometimes, man.
You are.
Yeah, sometimes.
But to try to give the Zion thing, to give Zion, after only 2 years, to say that he is a transcending player, he is right now in the realm of LeBron and KD, or even Steph.
I ain't saying he's the greatest out there. Them players are.
Oh, so you're retracting something?
No, I'm not retracting.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that Zion is right now is not the greatest in the conversations of greatest of all time.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that right now what Zion is doing, Zion is making his mark to where he's going to be one of the better or best players in the NBA. You coming in your second year in the league and you're averaging 28 points a game. Ain't too many people just come in they second year in the league. Like when you take Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Booker, and a lot of those other good guys that we look at, right? Like we're high on LaMelo Ball, you know what I'm saying, what he's doing, and that's 16 points a game. You know what I'm saying? I understand Ja Morant, you know what I'm saying? That's one. It ain't too many players that can just walk off and just average 28 points a game, and then to do that on 16 shots per game. Ain't too many players we can just really look at. And I understand people say, well, he don't shoot the ball and things like that. Everybody can't shoot the basketball. But the ultimate goal is to be able to get the ball in the bucket. How you do it is based on how you do it. Because if you're within that arc, no matter if you got a toe on the line or if you right under the basketball for 2 points. And sometimes we herald people for, and give them all these accolades because they can shoot a long 2-pointer versus a layup. If I got a guy that's averaging 28 points on 16 shots and he's shooting 70% from the floor, ain't too many people say they can do that. It's a lost art, and he's attacking something that, like when you played basketball, you was coming up, guard stayed out, you can attack the lane and things like that, but you had post play, you had big men. People don't even, to score within the paint now, it's like, ew.
Yeah.
Ew, like the paint?
Yeah, like when somebody comes into the paint, or when you kids first come into the gym, the first shot they take is a 3-pointer.
It's a 3-pointer.
Guys don't come in and even. So yeah, it's even in your preparation.
No.
So, yeah.
Your GOAT, right? Your GOAT is Michael Jordan. No secret. You were 23, Michael Jordan. Majority of Michael Jordan points came around within the 3-point line and the free throw line. My GOAT is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. All his points came from the paint. Karl Malone, second leading scorer in history, the paint. Now LeBron, who's gonna pretty much pass everybody, has more 3-pointers, than those guys. But now we look at it, and which I blame Steph Curry. I think it's the Steph Curry effect of basketball and the Klay Thompson effect, but it's percentages.
Mm-hmm.
It's percentages, but we just in a point in time right now, you kind of started to see that as you started, playing basketball. That basketball more and more is becoming positionless. We're in positionless basketball.
Yes.
Like the MVP is going to be a center that's leading the league in assists.
And he can bring the ball.
He brings the ball up the court at 7-1, 7-2. We didn't see that.
Never.
Like even when I was, my brief career and my high school career, like if you was 6'4", 6'5", you was playing center.
Playing center.
You was playing center.
My big man, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", was going to lead the county in rebound. Was going to go to war with him every time.
But when you got into your prime in high school, you were taller than your center. You were the first big guard. Like I say, when you came in as a freshman, I was amazed because you were the first big guard that we seen. They weren't, even though I could shoot it, they weren't gonna let me shoot it. That wasn't my job.
Skinny.
You gonna get in that paint.
Shoot another 3. Skinny.
He told me, I don't want you shooting.
And it was so crazy. I used to look at that like, dang man, he really do rock with me because I'm the same height as Skinny.
He wouldn't let me shoot.
Or maybe you was a couple inches taller than me, but it wasn't that far.
It wasn't that far off, man.
Bro used to let me rock. I don't know, man. That was
right
timing.
I think it was timing, but then too, like I say, Cam, it was life was about decisions, and I knew in that system, I wasn't gonna thrive. I missed my opportunity. My going into my junior year, I was working out, through the summer, with different coaches, and I had the opportunity to lead Tucker. My ignorance played a lot into it. One is because I didn't think at that point in time that single A and double A basketball was as competitive. I think at that time we had just got up to like 5A. So when you're looking at 5A and 4A basketball coming out of 10th grade JV, I didn't think one.
Back in our days, it really wasn't respected like that.
It wasn't respected like that, but but a year later, Dwight Howard becomes the #1 pick.
Yeah, and they still, to a certain extent, didn't respect Dwight Howard because the knock on him was, oh, he played in 1A, man. So when he get to the league, he ain't gonna be that. That was a knock on him. I remember that. I remember that.
But I had the opportunity. The day we about to go to the table, man, I was supposed to play with. They had me paired up with this guy, Drew Primus. Drew Primus, man. You go look Drew up, man. Drew was putting up some numbers here in Atlanta out of Wesleyan High School. It was supposed to be me and Drew. And man, worked out. They said, hey, if you can make the deal work, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like no deal, no money, but like you can get them to come. It's private school, you know. But I had a good thing going. I had a Brockett Road mentality. I wasn't, but I had a Brockett Road mentality. I had a lot of friends. I didn't want to leave. I had a girlfriend at the time. I didn't want to go to a whole different school, whole different environment. I wasn't thinking, long-term basketball. I was thinking about, man, what I had going on right now that was, bringing me satisfaction, enjoying life, and things of that nature. So, going to, my junior year, decided to stay at Tucker, and I'm glad I had a lot of, I had a lot of OGs that was with me, like Courtney Nelson, man, Ray Sean Harris, man, still my big brother to this day. On that team, Kasim Kareem, Tony Richmond, those guys, like we just grew up together. And I just couldn't think of anything besides, okay, man, we're going to have this maroon and go. And we had a hellified run my junior year. And, but looking back, if I really wanted to further my basketball career, I should have left. But then me and you wouldn't even be sitting right here, you know what I'm saying, to this point. And so I'm not mad at my journey, but when I look back at it, it got to a point where I knew, like, I love the game of basketball, but I knew basketball wasn't going to be it for me. Yeah, I knew that it wasn't going to be basketball. But I love it, you know what I'm saying? I love it, I watch it, I study it. I love sports in general. I love it.
I give you that because you're knowledgeable about your football too. You're pretty knowledgeable about all that. Past, man. past drives, back from the 80s, stats. I was like, bro, how you know all of this stuff?
Man, I love it, man. I love it.
Jeez. So I'm like, man, sometimes you be educating me on a lot of stuff. I'm like, man, let me go back and fact check that.
Man, I love it, man. I love everything about the game, you know what I'm saying? But it's just different when you can love it from a certain standpoint versus love it. Like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, this was my motivation or this was my motivation. I'm about to play basketball because I can go and get me a scholarship. I can go to college. I didn't need basketball to go to college. So that wasn't a motivation like, Cam, I'm going to go kill you because it's one spot. I ain't needed to go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I had the best grades, but I knew my academics. I didn't need basketball. You know, people say, "Oh, I'm about to go and do this," and a lot of those things that motivate people to get up in the morning, 5:00 in the morning, and go bust somebody's ass or go do this. Those were my motivation. That didn't motivate me. You know what I'm saying? Because we had different things going on to where, you know, I had, besides basketball OGs, I had other guys that was in my neighborhood that, you know, that I looked up to. That, you know, that I saw different things, and I end up choosing those routes, and then, you know, and I had other OGs, you know, like my mentor and things like that brought me into another realm in life and things of that nature. So, you know, a lot of guys had different motivations. Those were not my motivations. And so when people went up, and then, you know, and then other things like you kind of remember, like, my life was different, man. Like, you know, my senior year, people don't know this, okay? Like, I lived on Brockett Road, you know what I'm saying, in Tucker, but my senior year, we ended up moving to Covington. We moved to Covington. You remember that.
Because I was on the way to take me home.
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying, ended up moving to Covington, you know what I'm saying, and shit, can you think about it, man, to leave Covington, man, we had to be out the house
6 o'clock.
Man, 5. Traffic at 5:30, you done, right? So on certain days, my dad owned a cleaning business. So we had a building that we probably would clean in the morning. We had to clean early in the morning. We had to clean it late that night. It was gonna be either or. All right.
I remember the building. I used to go with y'all after those.
And so you went practice. To the salon, but it was a pub too, right? And so at 5:00 in the morning, I'm getting up. You know what I'm saying? Go and do that. Then, you know what I'm saying, gotta be at school. We at school from about 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'd be at school.
Man, we wouldn't leave that salon till like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock sometimes later than that, right? And so we go in and do that. I'm getting home around like 11 or 12. I still may have homework to do, you know, and things of that nature as well. And then I still had to wake up at 5 that morning. We had to clean another building, man, and that's all that was, you know. And so then we talking about I'm already up at 5. I done cleaned the building and went through school trying to do study hall. Then we playing basketball. We practicing. Then you gotta think, man, we didn't have no Rudy Poo strength and conditioning coach. We had Coach Rich. Coach Rich gonna take it.
We finna be parachuting off this.
Right? We had Coach Rich, man, like
Popeyes.
You know, we were in the Popeyes, so, you know what I'm saying, it was physically strength, and a lot of people didn't know this as well. Like, I didn't make no excuses of why I was in school, but I had a lung condition. You know, I grew so fast, it's called spontaneous pneumothorax. So even times that we were playing, I had a collapsed lung. Hardly didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, you probably don't know it. My lungs would collapse. I'd be in pain, and he think I'm just hurting. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't breathe. But I didn't want nobody else to have my journey. I just could not breathe. And so you just going through all that. So I knew, you know what I'm saying, at that point in time, like, okay. And then, too, I didn't fit the system based on, you know, what my strengths and my skills were. I didn't fit the system. You know, Tucker needed me to be a center. I wasn't a center. And I don't think the time I really got to showcase what I could do is when we went to Georgia Southern. And me and like Ray Harris, you know what I'm saying, only because he a Tucker vet. Ray Harris can just really stamp this, like, we, you know what I'm saying, at Georgia Southern, like, we didn't play for the team, but everybody knew if you came through the rack and you seen me, Ray, Jamal, shout out to Willie Darden as well, man, Willie Darden, all them, you know what I'm saying, and all those guys, man, like, y'all weren't seeing us at the rack, man, at Georgia Southern, man, like, and that's when Ray was like, damn, Skinny, you can shoot. I'm like, yeah, I can shoot. I didn't have the opportunity to. You know, you remember we had the Stevenson Fall League game. I hit 6 threes.
6 3s. Up in center court.
Center court.
I remember that.
They find.
I don't need a big man shooting threes. I need a big man in the paint.
Need a big man in the paint.
Remember that.
And that killed it for me right there.
We was on the far end court.
The far end court.
Far end court.
Damian Duncan and everything. I mean, Damian was hitting me, man. I was letting it go against Stevenson, man. And taught me and wanted me to shoot. So I knew right then, you know, once I did not transfer, and right then that, you know, it wasn't going to be basketball, but I felt like it was other ways that I could still, you know, affect. And then me being a senior, you coming in as a freshman, like in certain times, Cam, you could tell when somebody has it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't, you know, a lot of times I can't tell just with certain things or a person just, you know, that can develop and things like that. But when a person has it, you can tell. And it wasn't very hard. It didn't take long to tell that, you know what I'm saying, as a senior, you had it and being able to win, you know what I'm saying, at that point in time. I think as a team, we waited, you know, especially speaking my senior year, we waited too long for you and Damian Duncan to really get going. I understand that, you know, Hunter wanted to respect the seniors that we had at that time, but
and that was Hartrey's way, so I can understand. Hartrey definitely wanted to make sure the guys had seen it. So that was his way.
He wanted to give us his due. I mean, because we, you know what I'm saying, we rock with him. You know what I'm saying?
Even if it cost him.
Yeah, and I rock with Hartrey. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, he's a new coach at this time too. You know what I'm saying? As a head coach, not saying he was an assistant coach. You know, when I came to Tucker, Hartrey was our assistant coach. Carter Wilson was our head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But we, you know what I'm saying, we rocked with him, and he rocked with us. You know, and I can't say I ain't got number love for him, you know what I'm saying? But
absolutely,
it was one thing I can say about Hartrey that you know what I'm saying, you his guy, he's gonna be loyal to you. He's gonna be loyal to you. You know, and it's a double-edged sword because you love the loyalty, but when you play the game and you're competing, you still want to win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so
in that aspect, he probably could have let the reins go for me and Damian a little sooner.
A
little sooner would have changed something. Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no, but
yeah,
it would have. In the retrospect, all it would have done is just would have prepared us for the next year, which again to him doesn't sound like it's fair.
Yeah,
to y'all.
But the thing is, Cam, the way Tucker is that even though, you know what I'm saying, we far removed, you know what I'm saying, from our playing days at Tucker. Tucker's just one of those places that when one win, everybody win.
Mm-hmm.
Like
sure.
we celebrate everybody's successes.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying, like you remember, like I remember when you going into your senior year when DC Ice came and they celebrated you at the school and they gave your DC Ice letterman jacket. You remember that? It was like a blue jacket.
No, that was the Georgia Stars.
Georgia Stars, my bad. The Georgia Stars.
The Georgia Stars.
They came, they came and celebrated. You remember who you gave your jacket to in the stands?
No.
You handed it to me.
I don't remember.
After they celebrated, you said, "Here, Skinny," and you went and played the game. I came back. You know what I'm saying? Because when one person wins, we celebrating all the successes. You know what I'm saying? And Tucker's always had a tradition of winning and success, and I just felt like, you know, we wanted to win. You know, I think overall, like, yeah, like we didn't have the chemistry our senior year. All of us were, you know, we came through the system together with seniors, but you were better. Mm-hmm. Damian Duncan was better. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, y'all was just better.
Shout out Damian.
Yeah, Damian Duncan.
Damian, you're a chapter in my story too.
Yeah,
without Damian, ain't no me either.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it was just it was better, and it's no secret, you know. It got recognized. I'm not going to say it didn't get recognized, but then you had to go through the rest of the, you know what I'm saying, the progression of the 04 seniors and those guys. That's the year, you know what I'm saying, you got declared ineligible, but it was coming into become you and Damian's team that year, but it wasn't, that won a good season. But now Damian is in his senior year, you in your junior year.
Damian's like, bro, what happened last year ain't going to happen again. I'm going to make sure you stay on your, you know what I'm saying, you stay on your shit. And Damian wasn't always, you know what I'm saying, on his P's and Q's off the court. But one thing about bro was that even though he wasn't on his P's and Q's, he made sure that I ain't dive in or dab into nothing else that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, beneficial or anything towards having good grades and being better on the basketball court. So, like, I had, man, the OG, the people. I guess what you're saying got to be true. Like y'all saw something in me that
Absolutely.
maybe, and even Hartree did. Hartree, all y'all saw something in me that I didn't even necessarily see at one point in time, and y'all just really kind of just took me under y'all wing, man. It's like, shit, man. We ain't finna let this one fail. We ain't finna let this one
No.
go to the wayside. Even when I still didn't even have the best. Um, let's say political support, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, I got support from my friends, my family. I'm talking about political support because in this game of basketball, if you really want
Politics.
to be successful, it's politics. So you need that
Yeah.
political support. And coming from DeKalb County, coming from maybe a system or maybe a team that ain't necessarily known for winning in basketball, and coming from a staff that just doesn't, it's not really out there politically. It was,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, I really had to get it out. What they say, I got out the mud.
And like I knew it wasn't gonna be basketball that was gonna beat you. If you wasn't gonna make it, it had nothing to do with basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was, all right, Cam, let me make sure you getting your schoolwork. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with your schooling? You know what I'm saying? And I knew that. Basketball, you had that straight, but I tell you, in that same vein, Cam, I know too many guys that I played with, and that was before me. It wasn't basketball that beat them. It was always other things. It's so many guys just coming out of Tucker that when I sit back and think about it, and we talked about this last year, man, I can go through the list of guys, man, that was before me. You know what I'm saying? And you can name some guys that was after you, and I can name some that was after all of us. It ain't never the game that get you. There's a lot of guys that right now, even from in all stages of your career, from Tucker to Tennessee to overseas, it's never the game. It's everything else.
Outside the game.
It's outside
the game
the,
outside the game.
and I think that's what's gonna make 94 feet is because we can talk about the game, but hopefully, we'll be able to touch some young ears and be able to talk to them about the game outside the game because nobody taught you what to expect. I think that's one of my regrets too, Cam, is that when you went to Tennessee, you came out of Tucker at Tennessee, like, man, we would talk, but it wasn't like everyday deal. It's almost like, hey, what's going on?
Just to check in.
You know what I'm saying? It was a check-in, but because I wanted, one, you grown, you sprouting your own. I'm going through my own things and stuff as well, starting a family and things of that nature. But I never wanted you to be like, oh man, I'm checking on you because you know what I'm saying, you Cam Tatum at Tennessee, like you my brother, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want you to think I'm doing that. Like I want you to be going and do your own thing and ride and things of that nature.
And let that be let that be a lesson what he just saying because we dropping gems. That's a gem right there, man. Like guys who are OGs and stuff like that. Because I got some young players who I feel that same way with too. I feel like they're at a certain level to where I feel like, man, they ain't gonna listen to me. They ain't gonna listen to what I'm gonna say because they just feel like I'm just trying to like, nah, bro. I'm really telling you this because I've been here. Or I could probably see where you about to go. Yeah. So I really just doing it out of just to help you. So like OGs out there, like don't hesitate to talk to them, even if they act like they don't hear you. Like man, just go ahead and talk to them. Young fellas, if you got an OG that's really trying to talk to you, and they've been in your corner, past wherever you at in your career now, take heed to that, man. Because when it's all said and done, when it's over with, them gonna be the same OGs that's still gonna be there when your career is at whatever level, high or whether it's going up, down, roller coaster, they still gonna be there because they had the general interest in you before you made it. Absolutely. So take heed to it. Listen. OGs continue to talk to them because we need that in our communities, not just in the basketball community, but we need that. Like continue to talk to these kids, man. Don't let these kids make these bad decisions when they got, all the God-given talent in the world to change their lives and their family lives and get free educations and stuff up out of it.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. But we in a day and age too, Cam, is that people always say, "Well, what did you do?" And did you do it? And it's not necessarily always about what did you do because you can learn something from everybody, and everybody see it. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm self-made and all this." No, it's people that was there. You had to do the work. That's why you still have to do the work. But people can have influence and guide you and things of that nature. And I think at this point in time, when you have kids that's going and making decisions and they're costing themselves because they don't have any understanding because they probably don't have the OGs or they probably push their OGs away and things of that nature. And I can see both sides because people say, well, a lot of people don't come back, but it's kind of hard too, Cam, when a person is trying to come back and help, and you push them away, and so people say, you know what?
Because they don't have a social clout, like
or you burn them, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that even like for yourself, you probably had kids that you work with, they probably have burned you, you know what I'm saying? Or probably say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't. You say, you know what? I'm giving you this, and you burn me, like it push you back. But yeah, it's just a lot, man, that go into, you know, a person like Cam, like as a professional basketball player, you know, may never have touched the NBA, but even when you think about all the professional basketball players in the world, and these guys that play professional basketball that still say your name, you know, and things of that nature, man. And like I tell you, man, the best basketball player I've ever seen, and we're going to say the same person because we talk about this all the time, did not make it. Probably never played an NCAA game. But if you actually name, people will probably tell you he's the best basketball player in the state of Georgia history. And hopefully we can get him on this show. So, Vincent Banks, if this ever comes across your ears, man, we definitely love to have you on the 94 Feet podcast, man.
For sure, man. And as we get ready to wrap this up, I definitely had asked a question on in Facebook, and one of his names, I said, who would y'all like to see on the podcast? And his name was one of the first names that came up, Vincent Banks. So if anybody knows him or that can, you know, feel like that he will, you know, come in and love to speak, man, we'll love to hear from him, hear his story. You know, I as he said, you know, this is no disrespect to Lou Williams, because, you know, Lou Williams, you know, obviously maybe in a long career is the best player to come out of Georgia. So, you know, I was just talking about high school, and this is no slouch because Lou Williams, you know, high school career, you know, he did what he did. He still hold records to this day that, you know, some of the best NBA's best has been through. So, but I just, for me, from what I saw, you know what I'm saying, Vincent Banks, respectfully, man, like you get the nod from me, man. Even if it's just 1A, 1B, you know, it's you up there with Lou, and that ain't nothing to sleep on. So we're gonna be doing more polls and more stuff like this on the show, man.
Can I just tell a Vincent Banks story real quick, man, before we get off, man, because I don't want that man's name to get lost in history, man. I don't want it to get lost in history. So it's our junior year, and Hartford is telling us, they said, hey, you know, we had played Lou earlier, like we call Lou his freshman and sophomore year, okay? So this is the same time. So this is Lou freshman year, this is my junior year, Vincent Banks junior year, and all that, right? And so Hartford is telling us, all right, this guy Vincent Banks of South Atlanta, he's, you know, they saying he's like the #1 player in Georgia in the junior class. So we pull up at South Atlanta, and we battling South Atlanta. You know, we lose by 3. Vincent Banks has 24 points, but we had Courtney Nelson and Rayshawn Harris, Chad Allen, like we running with them. So now they come to Tucker and play us at Tucker. So while the girls' game going on, I'm on the stage. Daryl Shealy's on the stage. That was our starting center. I backed Daryl Shealy up. Vincent Banks is on the stage, and their starting center, Savannah Watkins, he comes on the stage. And Vincent Banks quiet. He just shooting on the other end of the floor, getting this shot. So we on the other end, but Savannah comes on our end. And me and Savannah, we starting to have words. And so Savannah throws the ball at me, and I take it and throw it back at him, but he walked away, so it hit him in his back. So now he ready to fight. So Vincent Banks gonna see it. And so, you know, I got muscles and everything. You know, the pebble. You know, I look like the Rock, but I'm the pebble. And Daryl Shealy grabs me and moves me out the way like, nah, what's up? And next thing you know, you see our team coming in, just running the stage, they team coming in like we about to fight on the stage and everything, right? Mm-hmm. So the tension is high. Mm-hmm. You know, man, I outside of us playing Lakeside, I don't think we ever had a game where it was just that thick and just that much tension. We come out, man, we kicking South Atlanta ass. Mm-hmm. We going into so we got Vincent Banks in foul trouble. We holding the 3 points going into the fourth quarter. And so if you remember the Tucker floor that you played on, you know, had Tucker spelled out, but it was the R was closest to the rack. The T was more about half court.
Yeah.
So Vincent Banks check in 8-minute quarters, Cam. Vincent Banks check in about 6 minutes to go. He got 4 fouls, 3 points.
What did he finish with?
Oh, he finished with 24, right? He finished with 24. Cam, no, I'm lying. He finished with 27. 24. He had 6 threes and 3 free throws in the fourth. He was pulling it from the tee. He tied the game up. We was up 20 in the fourth. He tied the game up. Courtney Nelson hit 2 free throws, win the game. I mean, he's shooting it chest to chest. So we go through, we're in the same region, but we were in different sub-regions. So we beat Cedar Grove in the sub-region game, our sub-region championship. I think they beat Marist. So now we go to North Springs to play the region championship. And so we walk in, of course, me, I'm always talking shit and stuff like that. So they looking, he's staring like before the game. And I'm just like, man, we about to beat y'all again, right? Cam, the first play of the game, they run it down near like a 4 corners. All right, so the point guard, and they got the flow spread out. We in a 3-2 zone. That was our deal. We ran the hell out of 3-2. They kick it to Vincent Banks in the left corner. He's standing right there by Hartree. He said, "That's what y'all gonna do tonight?" The man took 1 dribble. Woo! Like, what the hell? The man goes, hit Courtney Nelson with a move, fades out of bounds, Cam. If this is the backboard, this man is behind the backboard, shot it like this. Long story short, Cam, the man had 32 points at halftime.
Remember that, every bit of that trash talk all the time.
Oh, man, listen, third quarter, Cam, he goes on a fast break. I'm chasing him down on the fast break. I'm trying to run him down. He looks back at me, jumps. Man, he probably like 2 feet in front, 2 steps in front of the free throw line, man. Puts the ball on his neck. He ain't even touched the rim. He just drops it in. And he looked back at me and started laughing. And then he go tell his coach, "All right, take me out." Man had 42 points with like 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, man. Disrespectful, man.
But it was different, man.
It was different, man.
For sure, one of my favorites, man. Like you said, when you talking about pulling up from the tee, a lot of people used to be like, "Cam, you shoot from half court." I remember you used to shoot from half court. People that with the Tucker, and I used to be like, "Why you used to do that?" Because of Vincent Banks, bro.
Vincent Banks, man.
I used to watch Vincent Banks do that in the state playoffs. So, like I said, man, can't wait to get somebody, get him on the show, man. And he'll be a great guest. For that. Yeah, that's it for the pilot, man. We're going to wrap it up, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I'm your host, Cam Tatum.
Hey, this Skinny, the Pebble. All right, that's what we're going with, Cam. I'm going with the Pebble.
The Pebble.
Absolutely.
All right. Maybe I'll throw in Killer Cam a little bit later.
Yeah, the Pebble.
Right now, I'm just...
Hey, make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure y'all click the links below. And then have it. Follow the links below. These are all our Instagram is right here. Make sure y'all follow. We line up right between us. You can? Okay, you make it like this? Make sure you follow. Stop lying.
Shit.
For real?
Yeah.
Can I do make sure you follow?
I might be like this too while he talking.
Yeah. Hey, make sure y'all follow 94 Feet on all platforms. Make sure and click the subscribe button on YouTube as well, guys. And we promise you we're going to bring you the best content every week from the best ballers around the state of Georgia, man.
Yes,
so y'all make sure y'all click the follow button on all platforms.
I'll let y'all.
Hey, man. This pepper thing, man, gonna take off, dog. I mean,
these get some pepper shirts.